Hey gang, Uncle Todd and Sonny here for episode 6 of Spider Noir. Now, if you remember last week, Kat, who was planning to go away with Ben, learned that Dr. Faber had been working on an antidote, so she goes to see Dr. Faber because she's still in love with Flint. Well, when she finds out that the spider is what they need to get a cure, she tells him who it is. So here we open with Ben packing, putting money away for Janet, getting everything ready when Ogden shows up at his apartment. And Ogden reveals he was at the lab in France that Ben freed everyone from. And why is he so old? Turns out he was on the experiments, and his mutation is causing him to age faster than he should. He should only be in his early 30s, but he looks like he's 80. And they talk, and Ben feels for him, but it starts with he'd like the story not to run. Ben, I could talk to him, but there's no way Robbie's not going to print that story. It's too big. And even if that meant the others could have more time to get a cure going, he's like, I can't stop this. So Ogden drugs him. And he and Dr. Faber take him to their lab. Not the one at the VA, the actual lab she uses. That's listed in the files he stole. It's important for later. When he wakes up, he finds himself strapped down into a gurney, handcuffed to the gurney, and that his wrists are wrapped very tightly, to keep him from with his webbing. And they're going to start off with taking blood. And we learn through this that we get a flashback, as Ben says, this has been done before. And they learned nothing. And we get a flashback to him waking up in an army medical tent and getting these weird spasms where he keeps acting spider-like, and he's got this weird sticky fluid coming out of his wrists. And basically the army keeps him there and experiments. They open him up, close him back up, open him up, take more samples, close him back up. Now, it has come out that Ben Reilly's not his real name. So there is an implication that he wasn't discharged from the army. He escaped and changed his name. They don't come out and say it, but that's the implication I get. Now, we also, Ben figures out from what Dr. Faber's talking to him about, Ogden is actually her son. Even though he's older, looks older than her, that's her son. That's why she's doing all this, to save him. And she also lets slip that it was Kat that revealed his identity to them. Ooh, get you right there. Holy heartbreak. Well, blood's ordinary. Nothing in it. So, they're going to have to open him up and take samples of his organs. And they wheel him in for that operation. He has these nightmares where the army opens him up and he just erupts with little spiders. And he runs away and comes to a room where Ruby is, and he hugs Ruby, but then she turns into the spider, and the spider mocks him. And it's just stuff like this just going on and on until he finally wakes up. And Ogden's tending to him. And he tells Ogden, quit lying to me. He's like, what do you mean lying? He's like, you keep saying once this is done, we can all leave. I'm not leaving here alive. She's going to kill me when this is done. No, she'd never do that. You sure? Well, more experimenting with the organs, the sample she took, and she finds the key to the antidote is in the liver sample. So she starts working on that. Meanwhile, Ben has managed to loosen his bandages and get them off his wrists, so he's able to web out to the keys to his cuffs, zip them back. The antidote is perfected, and she gives it to Ogden. And after some pain and uncontrollable spasms, he's now his correct age. It works. And his first idea is, well, let's give let's give the antidote to Ben now. She's like, oh no, we can't. Why not? Look, we have committed major crimes here. We've kidnapped him. We've done illegal experimentation on him. I did not go through all this just to have you spend the rest of your life in a jail cell. We're going to have to get rid of him and leave. So he volunteers to do it. And he goes down, and Ben is trying to get away. He's gotten out of his cuffs and he's kind of stumbling around. He's bleeding from the incisions they gave him. I guess she wasn't that concerned about suturing from the operations. After all, if he's going to be killed, what's the point? Well, Ogden's not going to kill him, even though he has a gun. Ben's saved his life. Least he can do is make sure that Ben gets a life too. So they start heading up to the surface. That's when Ben's spider tingling goes off. He says, what day is it? It's Monday. The story has hit the papers, and it included this address for the lab. Guess who has shown up? Silvermane. Lonnie breaks in. They all go through, get to the elevator, get in the elevator, start going down. Once there, they get back out. That's when Ben and Ogden come down from topside. They go back up. No, wait a minute. No, that's wrong. They go down. They get out. Ben and Ogden get out. And Ogden tells him, basically, Ogden, they do go up. It's kind of common. Basically, Ogden is going to stay to protect his mother because it's his mother, and Ben can go and be free. Well, Silvermane comes and he talks to the doctor. She recognizes her patients, and they're not too thrilled with her. The story calls them monsters. She's made them monsters. No, she's trying to help them. Like she helped the others. Oh, there's others? Where are they? Well, they're downstairs. Well, let's go see them. So they go. And that's when Ben has snuck back downstairs via the stairs, got into the lab, found his clothes, which he puts back on, And as he's leaving, he spots this little bottle on the table, listed as antidote. So he grabs that and takes that too. And makes his way outside. Now, Dr. Faber takes them to this area where there's a lot of mutated bodies in stasis units. Why? Why would she do that? They're dead. The mutations got out of control and they succumbed to them, implying that's what's going to happen to Lonnie, Flint, and Layden. They don't see quite that. They see that she's experimenting on them and turning them into monsters. And there's a big argument. She's like, if you just give me a little more time, I'm on the right path. But Layden, the hothead, thinks she's had more than enough time. That's when Ogden shows up and shoots Layden. Not mortally. At which point there's a bit of a scuffle, and Layden grabs them both and electrocutes them. At which point, because they've done some damage there, the floor's wet, and sparks from him and the hot gun that's been fired sets the lab on fire. And Silvermane chastises Layden. You've got to get your impulses under control. Well, there's nothing there for him, so they get out. Ben is thinking of snatching one of the cars there. He doesn't really have any other way to get out, I don't think. Well, there's the car he was brought in, but I'm not sure he knows where that is. And then Silvermane and the rest get out, get in the cars, just as the whole thing just becomes a big fireball as they're leaving. Ben, of course, is out of the way. By that point, when they came out, he scuttled up the hillside. So you got to witness all that. Yeah, a very Frankensteinian episode this week. And looks like things are heading to a head, as it were. I mean, we're gearing up for the fight for the city between Silvermane and the mayor. And you're starting to wonder, well, at least I'm starting to wonder, what's Ben planning to do with that antidote? Take it himself? Give it to Cat? Guess I'll have to wait till next week to find out. Well, that's about it for this week. Please hit like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you next time.